Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is taking your plant calls at 270-9933. Happy birthday.
Thank
Day
you.
late.
Woohoo, 60.
All right, looking good.
Thank you.
Let's go to the calls. We'll start with Laura from Fitchburg. Hi, what's your question?
I've started a rhubarb plant in a big pot on my deck. Have you heard of that?
I have not, and I think that maybe for a year or two that might work for you, but you're going to want to get it in the ground. You get the best rhubarb when plants get really established, and it's going to need to be in the ground to do that.
It will be. Okay, that was my question.
All right, we'll get her in the ground. Let's go to Ann in Wanakee. Hi, Ann, what's your question?
I have a hydrangea plant that is very, very big. And last year, it did not, 3 years ago, flowers all the time, flowers last year. I think it got the virus, that it did not have any flowers, well, just a couple flowers. Now, what in the world could have happened to that?
Well, hydrangea, as far as I know, are not prone to any viruses, so it's probably not that. If it's a hydrangea, I would check the light conditions. There's some hydrangea that do well in shade and some that do well, that require more sun to flower. So without knowing which one you have, it might be that. You could also try some fertilizing. It could also be, though, that you maybe had a little bit of frost damage this year. We had those really late cold temperatures around Mother's Day and Memorial Day. Might have just knocked it back a little bit, especially if you're seeing damage on the foliage. And I guess I would not give it up. It's just the end of June, and a lot of hydrangeas don't start flowering until we get into July.
Well, this one usually did right about now, and I thought, oh, there's not even a little stem there. And also, if it ever does get a flower, I'd like to know, there's a liquid you put on where you can change the colors. Mine is white, and I've done it before. I put a liquid on them, some kind of a liquid. Do you happen to know the name of that?
There is generally a granular, and what you're doing is changing the soil pH. But it only changes white varieties to blue or vice versa. If you have a white one, you probably cannot change its color.
All right, let's go to Julie in Portage. Hi, Julie, what's your question?
Yes, I have some carrots that I had planted, some colored small carrots, and these strange orange beetles are just coming up out of the soil around the carrot plants, and I was just wondering if you knew what they were.
I'm not familiar based just on that description, but if you have beetles, you can use 8. It's an insecticide, broad spectrum insecticide, but it's safe for food crops, and you just have to pay attention on the back to the time between when you apply it and when you harvest. And that should take care of it.
All right, let's go to Todd in Edgerton. Hi, Todd, what's your question?
Yeah, it's the same thing with hydrangea. We planted one about 3-4 years ago, and it has yet to even flower.
So there are some hydrangeas that need to retain their flower buds from last year. So what I would do, Todd, is at the end of this year, once the ground is frozen, so around Thanksgiving, put a little bit of mulch on it, about a foot or so high, to protect some of those buds that are low. And then in the spring, carefully move that back as it thaws and see if that helps.
And these are not the woody hydrangeas we're talking about.
Well, I don't know, because
Okay.
I'm not, because there are lots of different kinds. Some are woody and some are not.
All right, do we have time for another call? Or? All right, let's go to Jeff in Columbus. Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
Hi, what's your question?
I have a mature asparagus area, and the harvest was wonderful. But now the plants are growing about 4 or 5 feet tall, and I've always waited till they turned yellow in fall.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let them go yellow.
It doesn't hurt them.
Well, that's what they need to get energy for a beautiful crop next year.
All right. We are out of time. Thank you all for calling in. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Go celebrate your birthday some more.
Yeah, 4 more times.
I don't get it, but anyway.